picking up my broken teeth. I spit them out cause I can't swallow anything. Mouthwash is pumping through my veins just to help me get me on my feet and clean again. Coming straight out of your mouth and into the ground. Coming straight out of your mouth and into the ground. Taste the flavor, I'll be taking pains to do the things I gotta do to be the same. I don't feel the way I think I seem. Maybe I can work it out in surgery. Coming straight out of your mouth and into the ground. Coming straight out of your mouth and into the ground. It's the same thing out of your mouth, a little fluoride. It's the same thing out of your mouth, a little fluoride. Right. It's the same thing out of your mouth, a little fluoride. It's the same thing out of your mouth, a little fluoride. Right. It's the same thing out of your mouth, a little fluoride. It's the same thing out of your mouth, a little fluoride. Right. It's the same thing out of your mouth, a little fluoride. It's the same thing out of your mouth, a little fluoride. Right. It's the same thing out of your mouth, a little fluoride. It's the same thing out of your mouth, a little fluoride. Right. It's the same thing out of your mouth, a little fluoride. It's the same thing out of your mouth, a little fluoride. Right. It's the same thing out of your mouth, a little fluoride. It's the same thing out of your mouth, a little fluoride. Right. It's the same thing out of your mouth, a little fluoride.
I feel really exhausted. Ready to hop on the plane, get back to the Corona, maybe go hang out at the pool or the hot tub tonight, and just kind of soak up the day and let it sink in. I just, I mean, it would have been a good day, perfect day probably if I would have had a podium. But both motos, I gave it everything I had. Didn't leave anything on the table, so I mean, I can't complain really. I mean, some riders went down and it put me in a good position, and I started charging towards the end. And I could have almost had fourth, but oh well. Next week I'm going for that podium and I want a trophy.